Thank you. I acknowledge the Gumarch, on whose land we meet. And thank you for again so generously bringing us all together. Thank you once again for openly sharing your wisdom and your knowledge. As part of your constant pursuit of progress, your constant search for excellence, embodied through this year's main theme, Jimbudge, the quest for perfection. I also acknowledge the Yolngu clan nations and all First Nations people from the Northern Territory and around the country. It is a great privilege to be here, though I know we all feel that something, someone, is missing. Yunupingu held such an important position in the modern history of Australia, a position that was born of thousands of years of accumulated knowledge that was handed down to him and knowledge that he handed on to others. Yunupingu spent his life trying to make the rest of us understand the Yolngu way of seeing things, and he was pretty successful in that. But he also knew that progress wasn't a straight line. He knew that there would always be setbacks, but it never stopped him from forging new pathways to reconciliation. When the Barunga Statement was presented to Bob Hawke in 1988, it was clear from Yunupingu's words that day that he was very wise enough to understand the bigger aims of the Barunga Statement and that it would form part of a longer struggle. And that's why he said the statement was to remind not just Hawke, and I quote, but the next one after him, and the next one after him, and the next one after him, and the next one after him. That Aboriginal people must always have a prominent place in the minds of our leaders. And why, when the statement was displayed in Parliament House in 1991, Hawke's last act as Prime Minister, Yunupingu reminded him that he had to pass it on, and pass it on, and pass it on. And so we gather here at Garma 2023, yes, grieving for what we have lost, but also celebrating what a wise man gave us and carrying forward what he passed on to us. Yunupingu believed in the voice. I believe in it too. We will vote at a referendum later this year, but really, the voice is not a new concept. We heard the voice in the 1967 referendum. We heard the voice in Mabo. We heard it in Wick. We heard it in the apology to the stolen generations, and we heard it in the words of Yunupingu. We heard it in the songs of Yothu Yindi, Dr. G, and we hear it in the songs of King Stingray. Aboriginal people have been speaking, and you heard it here again today. The voice is about whether we, as a nation, are prepared to truly listen. My government supports the voice. I will vote yes because I am listening. And I will vote yes as an act of respect and recognition. We're gathered here at the iconic Garma Festival. And I'd like to acknowledge the organisers of the Garma Festival, who this year have chosen to raise domestic and family violence as a priority area. I agree with them too. It is so important that we talk about this, and we do more too. If we can keep our families together, rather than seeing the heartbreak of dysfunction, violence, and an endless loop of incarceration, then we can achieve so much more. We are working together with Aboriginal leaders and communities across the Territory with unprecedented commitment towards new community-led solutions. We are supporting alternative to custody programs that are changing lives for the better. We are supporting community courts that use local Aboriginal knowledge and authority, and we are supporting victims and survivors. We are also helping those who inflict violence to change their behaviours. And most importantly, we are returning power to communities through local decision making. These are real measures that come from our deep understanding that there is no place for us to sit around Parliament House in Darwin deciding we know what is best for your community. It hasn't worked in the past and it won't work in the future. You have to tell us the change you want to see happen, how you want to run things, and then we will work with you. And that is what is happening through local decision-making agreements right across the Northern Territory. And we have heard your demand that we must keep the East Arnhem region alive and well. And that's why we're not stepping back, but deepening our engagement and listening to what you need. You can expect to see improvements, major improvements to the Gove District Hospital, major works on the Central Arnhem Highway, new or extended art galleries at Yirrkala and Gapawiak, upgrades to the fibre network across East Arnhem, new Wi-Fi for homelands, and a 10-year plan to grow the local economy. But we hear from you that you want that out here on country, in your outstations and your homelands. And that has come about because you have a voice and we are listening. And it has come about because you seek Jumbudge. We are excited the Prime Minister and I just announced the Garma Institute. I'm thrilled to hear of the Commonwealth Government's investment, and the Northern Territory Government will also invest in this project. This is not, thank you. This does not come about from luck. It's from pure effort and investment from the community. The success and growth in the region is community-led, and you are paving a way for communities right across the Territory and Australia to follow your lead, and I congratulate you on this. Just a few weeks ago, I was in the nearby homelands, the country of the Allandili-Akwa, and they speak so highly of what you've shown them, and they now are embarking on their positive pathway, listening, with community-led decisions. We value your cultural and economic contribution to your communities, to the Northern Territory, and to this country. And we look forward to you inviting us on the long journey into the future. Before I conclude, I would just like to acknowledge everyone that has helped put this festival together. The Yolngu people for their vision, the Yothu Yindi Foundation, particularly Denise and Sean, and Jawa. Your leadership and the leadership of the Yolngu from Northeast Arnhem Land will guide us through the weeks, months and years to come. Thank you very much.